We're back at it. We're gonna go with chase builds now and talk about that. I have two chase perks here. Oh shit. I have two chase perks here. These are the most used chase perks in the game, I believe. And those are obviously made for this and dead hard. I'm gonna give you a quick overview. Made for this gives you 3% faster run speed, and after you heal another star, you gain endurance for 10 seconds. People run this for the 3% speed. We'll get back to that. Dead hard. You press a button and you do sort of like a little dodge. Before it would give you some distance, but now you don't gain any distance. And if they hit you, it's like an extra hit, and now you're deep wounded like it's Legion. These two perks are busted. That's to put it simply. Dead Hard used to be much more annoying and much more busted. And guess what? They nerfed it and it's still busted. Why? Because it didn't fix the biggest issue, which was the prolongment of chase by an insane amount. Now, before and now, you have to play against Dead Hard the same way. You have to assume everyone has it, and you have to trail behind them like an idiot and wait for them to Dead Hard. It's a game of chicken. You either swing first or they Dead Hard first. It's a game of chicken. And if you lose that game, if you lose that mind game, and mind you, that's if they don't make it to a pallet or a window before it happens, before the mind game happens. They get basically an extra hit and chase. And it prolongs chase even more, which is crazy considering what I just brought up about gen rushing literally like 5 minutes ago. Made for this, the 3% faster run speed is very overlooked. A lot of people who don't have a lot of experience playing against made for this, especially survivors, you know, will say it's not all that crazy. But it is. It is, in fact, all that crazy. When you already have strategies like hugging loops tightly, doing it 3% faster could end up giving you, like, you know, that extra loop, and then that gives you, like, the pallet stun and whatever. It prolongs chase. That's the problem. The prolongment of chase where there shouldn't be any. It is okay to have a perk like Life. It is okay to have perks like literally anything else, but these two prolong the chase in a way that is blatantly unfair to the killer. Both of these perks act as if the survivor had a third health state before being downed. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then you can add other perks into the mix to really, you know, fuck with them even more. For example, one that I think is just so fucking crazy. Vigil. You recover from status effects faster. And while this isn't exactly good with Dead Hard, it's good with Sprint Burst and Life. Because you can recover from it faster. And you know, if you use like literally anything, and you wait and you recover from that exhaustion, guess what you can do again? You can do that. Well, not that hard, I mean, but like you can use an exhaustion perk again, is what I meant. In particular, you know, I think Sprint Burst really shows the problem with this, even with Dead Hard being spoken into this. Because imagine this. Let's get Sprint Burst in here. Imagine this. Okay, you find a survivor, they Sprint Burst. You catch up, you get a hit. Let's say that entire process took 15 seconds. That's being generous. They now have Made for this on their side. They get a nice boost because you hit them and all that. And they can wait at a loop. Again, Vigil's going off and they're recovering faster. And then it's like, okay, well now they're recovering faster. This 40 seconds is gonna go, is 30 seconds faster. What? I believe about 30% of 40 seconds is is 12 seconds. So you really only have to spend 28 seconds waiting for that exhaustion to go away. And with Made for this, that as you loop harder, you can play mind games and you wait less time. You wait less time, you can get back into a sprint burst if you play well, which prolongs the chase. I understand that this is more about being good at the game, but with Made for this, this normally is okay, because if you make this happen normally, that is you're good at the game and you deserve it. Made for this is a cheat. Made for this is a cheat code that you can activate for, I don't know, about like $12, however much the end transmission chapter is, or for 2,000, right? 2,000 Eerie shards. The Shrine of Secrets. It's on the Shrine of Secrets right now. It's fucking crazy. Now, let's add one final perk to really cement the power of this build. Now, what is a perk that really just... Oh, yeah. Resilience. We're back into this. The 9% increase to vault speed is really a lot. It's more than you think. And let's remove the whole exhaustion aspect of this build. And let's say instead we have Made for this Dead Hard, Resilience, and what is a fourth good chase perk? Honestly, you could run those three and you'll be good. But fuck it, let's add fucking Dark Theory. Now, let's say you are able to place Dark Theory in a really nice loop spot. 5% increased movement speed because you're in the totem's range. And even if you leave it for 4 seconds, you still have it. That's 5% while you're injured in there. You have 9% bonus to vaulting. So that's, again, you're doing things faster. It's small increments, but when you take the time that you're doing all this, the time and chase, that 5% increased speed from these two adds up. And that 9% from vaulting adds up. And then you have Dead Hard. Imagine playing through all of this around a very bastardly loop, and they Dead Hard you. Oh my god! I'll eat my PlayStation entirely. This is just fucking terrible, man. This is something that makes people cry. Let's get onto the killer side of things here, and I want to talk about a quote-unquote anti-chase build, because it doesn't look good for killers. Anti-chase perks include stuff like Bamboozle, Brutal Strength, Superior Anatomy. I would never realistically run this build because there's no gen control or anything, but just to show you perks that really add to the anti-chase. And honestly, save the best, if you ignore your obsession entirely, will work out for you. So you recover from hitting faster, you can vault faster and block the vault, and you break pallets quicker. A build like this will make your chases faster and will make them more bearable for you. What's the problem? The gen rush guys are the problem, because guess what? You're gonna lose that match pretty quickly without gen control. Which is, it's a sad thing. But let's talk about another thing, and one of the more builds used to counter one of the most, in my opinion, unbalanced aspects of the game, which is pallets. And map design is another thing, but pallets. People like to run Enduring, Spirit Fury. Where is it? Hubris. And let's just say Brutal Strength for fun. We're really gonna remove it. This 3 is what it revolves around. It revolves around this 3. Enduring and Spirit Fury is a combo that does all this time. But you do have to waste 2 perk slots for maybe, 1 to 2 chases worth of value, because once they know you have Spirit Fury and Enduring, they're going to start pre-dropping pallets. Then they start pre-dropping pallets, then you have to loop around them and break them. And that's where the Brutal Strength aspect comes in hand. The truth is, especially if they know you have hubris, this kind of becomes a little useless in higher MMR lobbies. Because they're not going to go for pallet stunts, they're going to go for pre-drops. So, the truth is, anti-chase is itself counterable by survivors. But you cannot counter their chase perks, which is really interesting. One chase perk that I do find really good right now is Coup de Grace. This shit is delicious. This shit can really close the gap that you need sometimes. This perk is, I still, even after the buff, I still think goes a little underrated by the community and underused. This thing can do a lot for you. This thing can do a lot for you. And in my opinion, if you wanted to build, let's say on an M1 killer, that's about, that's just about getting chases done quicker. Fucking forget about it. As an M1 killer, you gotta take what you can get. And if you use what you got on chase perks, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose anyway. M1 killers are not favored by the killer meta. And killers aren't favored in general, so it's already tough. Killers like Freddy and Pig suffer the most. Trapper is a different fucking discussion. Trapper is a sad, sad soul. But it's the killers with chase powers that, you can stay afloat. But if you're an M1 killer, seeing these things and playing against them becomes more frustrating because you get really a taste of how unfair it is with the majority of the cast. The majority of the cast, this is some unfair shit. It's just crazy how overpowered survivors are in the current meta with everything they have on hand. Next time, we're going to discuss map balancing, pallets, and M1 killers. See you then.